Up next, question number 98 says, a food truck sells sandwiches, pizzas, and milkshakes only. If 25% of the truck's sales are from its milkshakes, and the truck sells an equal percentage of sandwiches as it does pizza, which of the following is true? So here's our food truck sales. Why am I making that a box? I think I should make it a pie chart. We're talking about food here, people. So we've got 25% of the sales are from milkshakes. So that's about a quarter of my pie chart here. And it sells an equal percentage of sandwiches and pizza. So I'm going to cut what's left in half. Next color for sandwiches. And next color for pizza. Okay. Statement 1. A greater percentage of the food truck sales come from its sandwiches than milkshakes. Sandwiches, milkshakes. And that's true. There's more green than blue. Must be true, yes. 75% of people who order food from the truck do not order a milkshake. Doesn't say anything about overlap. It does not say anything about everyone who purchases from the food truck only buy one item. We don't know. Statement 3, the sandwiches and pizza that the food truck sells are more expensive than its milkshakes. I don't know. I didn't hear anything about prices. So the only thing that's true to me is option number 1. So let's continue. Question number 99 says, a cubed a squared to the power of 4 equals what? A cubed a squared all to the power of 4. What does that mean? A cubed times a. That's a to the power of 5 to the power of 4. A to the power of 5 4 times would be a to the power of 20. Question number 100. Which of the following could be the missing term in the series below? I've seen a lot of debate on this question. There's a lot of different ways you could come at an answer. We'll take a look at one way. How do you get from 4 square root of 2 to 8 to 16? And then what would be next? If this was just a 4 here, right, we'd have 4, 8, 16. Everything would be doubling. It definitely would be 32 next. But this was not a plain 4. So most likely that obvious answer isn't it. And I've talked to a few different math teachers about this question, and everybody kind of agrees that we would like more information to really solve this. So if you're taking the CLT and you see a question like this where you only have 3 terms, and if you're running short on time, don't spend a lot of time on this type of question. I'm spending time on it just because I'm making this video and I just have time to. I'm not taking a timed test, right? What's another way to look at this? 4 square root of 2. If I were to put that in there, I'd have the square root of 4 squared times 2 plus the square root of 8 squared plus the square root of 16 squared. What's that? 4 squared times 2. 4 squared times 2, 16 times 2, square root of 32 plus square root of 64 plus square root of 16 times 16, 6 times 6, 36, 6 times 1, 6 plus 3, 9, placeholder 0, 1 times 6, 1 times 1, add the partial products, 6 plus 9, 15, 1 plus 1, 256. What's next? What's next? How do we get from 32 to 64? Times 2. How do we get from 64 to 256? 64 times, is it times 4? 4 times 4, 16, 4 times 6, 24 plus 1, 25, times 4. It could be that you take this, multiply by 2, multiply by 4, multiply by 6, or multiply by 8. We don't really have enough terms in this sequence to say for sure what it is that you have to do next. There's more ways to look at this question, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it. I would definitely say not 32. 8 plus 8 is 16, plus another 8 would be 24. So I would say that's out as well. And these are going up by more than a square root of 2, multiplying the number by the square root of 2. 4 square root of 2 times the square root of 2. Before times 2 is 8. 8 times the square root of 2. Wouldn't give you 16. But 8 just times 2 does. So that's a different pattern. Let's see. Come back. Can't definitively say what has to be next going this way. So from here to here, you multiplied by the square root of 2. From here to here, you multiplied by 4. You could say that next you have to, the square root of 4, which is 2, multiplied by 2. You could say that next you have to multiply by the square root of 6. or the square root of 8, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 8. I'm just not sure. I'm leaning towards I don't think that it's this. It could be either of those. I'm not going to pick one. I'll let you decide for that one. Let's move on to question number 101. Jill's family is packing up all of their cylindrical glasses into boxes for their move. What does that mean, cylindrical glasses? Glass like a cylinder. That's like all glasses look like that, pretty much. A normal glass. Okay. Each of the boxes they are using is 9 inches high, 12 inches long, and 7 inches wide. Each glass is 1.5 inches in radius and 8 inches high. If the family is packing all of the glasses upright in the boxes, how many glasses can they fit into each box? So here's our box. It is 9 inches high, 12 inches long, 9 by 12, and then it's 7 inches wide. There's our box. 9 inches high, 12 inches long, 7 inches wide. Each glass has a 1.5 inch radius and it's 8 inches high. The box is 9 inches high, so the height is a-okay. So we just need to see how many glasses with a radius of 1.5 inches can fit across this row of 12, and then how many rows back it can go. So if the radius of my glass, here's a glass shaped like a cylinder, it's 8 inches high, and that's fine. The radius is 1.5 inches. So the diameter is, all the way across, would be 3 inches. So 3, 6, 9, 12. I can fit 4 glasses across lengthwise, and I could do another layer. 3, 3 makes 6. I can't do a third layer. So I can fit 8 glasses in my box. And that's it. You see how CLT likes to put this option? There's not enough information to answer the question. Yeah, usually there is. Most of the time. And that's it for that question. Number 102, a triangle has side lengths that measure 6, 8, and 10 inches. What is the cosine of the smallest angle of the triangle? So we've got, ooh, my computer's got a delay. We've got a triangle with sides of 6, 8, and 10 inches. And it's asking for the cosine of the smallest angle, so I know there must be a right angle across from the biggest angle. And my smallest angle will be here across from my shortest side. And from the reference sheet, we know that cosine means adjacent over hypotenuse. So cosine of angle A equals adjacent over hypotenuse. So I'm looking to my side adjacent next to A, that's not the hypotenuse, over the hypotenuse, 10. Not there, simplify the fraction. 8 and 10 can both be divided by what number? They're even, so 2. If I divide the top by 2, 8 divided by 2, I get 4. Whatever I do to the numerator, I have to do to the denominator. 10 divided by 2 is 5, and that answer is there. I know this copy is a little bit fuzzy, but there it is. And question number 103. Planet Z has an atmosphere of 40% nitrogen, 25% oxygen, and 5% carbon dioxide. The rest of the atmosphere is made up of argon, methane, and another gas Q that is not found on Earth. Planet Z's atmosphere contains twice as much of gas Q as it does of argon and methane combined. Which of the following is false? Okay, so I'm going to go for another pie chart. So I know all the percents in here have to add up to how much? 100%. And we know we've got 40% nitrogen. And actually, I'm going to take a light pink or this light beige here. Okay. And I'm going to take this and I'm going to break it up into tenths. 2. Oh, that's not quite the center, is it? Two sections. 4 sections. 6 sections. 8 sections. 10 sections. Okay. And we've got 40% nitrogen. So that's 4 sections here. 10, 20, 30, 40, 25% oxygen. Next color. 10, 20, and then just half of this section. 25% oxygen and 5% carbon dioxide. So that's the other half of this little section. And how much is left? I got 30% to make up argon, methane, and gas Q. And it says Planet Z's atmosphere contains twice as much of gas Q as it does of argon and methane combined. So 2 of these sections have to be gas Q. And I haven't used pink yet. Nope. So gas Q gets twice as much of the others combined. So that's 10. 20% here. And then the last little bit is split up. Let's go half and half to fix our colors here. So we have argon and methane. I did the combination color here, like that. Okay. Which of the following is false? The atmosphere contains more oxygen than gas Q. Oxygen was green, gas Q, pink. And there's 25% oxygen and 20% gas Q. So that is true. The atmosphere contains more carbon dioxide than gas Q. Well, carbon dioxide was only 5%. Gas Q is 20%. That's false. The atmosphere contains half as much carbon dioxide as argon and methane combined, right? Because these add up to this 10%, and carbon dioxide was only 5%. That was true. And D says the atmosphere contains twice as much nitrogen as gas Q, and there's 40% nitrogen and 20% gas Q. That's true. So B is the only one that is false. And then question number 104. How many points of intersection do the following equations have? So I'm just gonna really fast sketch out a graph of these. So my linear equation at the top, we have y equals negative 1/3 x plus 5, where our y-intercept is 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our slope says go down 1/3. Down 1/3. 1, 2, 3. So it's going like this-ish. And we've got a quadratic equation. Y equals negative x squared plus 8. When x is 0, we have a y-intercept of positive 8. So 5, 6, 7, 8. And it's negative x squared, so I know however much it is, it's going to be coming down. How many points of intersection? Intersection just means how many times do the lines touch? Twice. And that's it. Question number 105. If negative 3x plus 7 is less than 16, which of the following must be true? Classic. Solve the inequality. Negative 3x plus 7 is less than 16. Solve for x. How do we get rid of a plus 7? subtracted on both sides of the inequality to make our 7s cancel to 0. So we have negative 3x is less than 16 minus 7 is 9. Next step, to get the x by itself, the negative 3 and the x are multiplying. The opposite of multiply is divide both sides of the inequality by negative 3. And since we are multiplying or dividing our inequality by a negative, when we bring a negative to the inequality party, the inequality gets to flip around. Turns to greater than. These negatives cancel to 1. These 3's cancel to 1. So x is greater than 9 divided by negative 3. 9 over negative 3 in every fraction is a division problem. So x is greater than 9 divided by negative 3. A positive divided by a negative is a negative. 9 divided by 3 is 3. X is greater than negative 3. A final answer, and I will catch you guys on the next video.